Imprisoned U.S. Marine veteran, I should say, Paul Whelan, has reportedly been assaulted by another inmate in a Russian prison. His brother, David Whelan, joins me now. David, these reports are coming out of Russia. What have you heard?
We got a call from Paul on Tuesday, and he let us know that he had been punched by a new prisoner in the workshop where they do their sewing. So we passed that information on to the State Department. It sounds like Paul was trying to get his work done in the labor camp makes clothing. And so he was trying to get his work done, and this new prisoner was standing in the way of the process. And so after Paul had asked him to move out of the way so Paul could complete his work, the man struck him and then attempted to strike him a second time, but Paul was able to parry that blow.
What was the reason? Was it just an altercation in the prison? Did it sound like that? Or was it some kind of deliberate and politically inspired assault? Did you have any way of knowing which is which?
It's hard to know. The prison seems to have responded very quickly, and they've talked to the prosecutor's office. Paul said that some sort of security services showed up, some sort of police force to investigate, and it seems to be an open and shut case. What I've seen in the Russian media is that they had political differences, and our expectation and understanding from Paul is that it's because he's American and that this particular prisoner had very anti-American views.
Very recently, your brother did an interview expressing concern about his safety. Have you heard from the administration about getting him out?
We haven't. We've seen the same things you've seen, which is President Biden saying recently that they weren't giving up. He said also that he's not walking away from Paul's case. But in fact, all we have right now are words. There hasn't been any action on Paul's case, certainly in over a year. And there doesn't seem to be any real effort to make the Kremlin accept a concession and to allow Paul to come home.
Do you consider this a hostage situation?
Well, you know, at the beginning, we were very careful about not using that word. There was a lot of distinction between who a wrongful detainee was versus a hostage. I mean, in normal speak, a hostage is someone who's been taken by a group like Hamas, you know, a terrorist organization. But I think increasingly, when we look at how Russia operates, I do consider Paul to be a hostage. And I think of Russia as just as bad as any terrorist group.
Last one. Is he physically well and mentally stable?
He seems physically fine. I think it was a relatively minor hit. The biggest concern is that the workshop where they make their clothes, they have shears, they have metal shivs for cutting strings off clothing. And so the next time it could be much more dangerous. Yeah. I think he's a little more mentally rattled than he is physically hurt. And of course, there are things like his glasses, which are broken, that we will have to find frames for him in the States and then somehow get them to him in Mordovia. That's not something that they will provide him. So for some number of months now, he will be out without his glasses.
David Whelan, we all feel for your brother Paul, and that's a fact. And thanks for joining us this morning, David. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Stuart.